you combine both. Guys, S tier. And so the comments saying Coach Greg gonna make a 30-minute video explaining how his training program is S tier. You bang on, and of course it is. And so guys, many of you new to the channel, you may not realize this. Read this next comment. Greg's his dad. Coach Greg, in today's video, Will Tennyson, he gives me the D. Has he been hanging around with Mike Israetel? They're rating Coach Greg harder than last time. They must not be Gregging their Doucette. But if you're trying to Turk it and can't get hard enough, then look no further than harder than last time. Code Greg, 15% off. And I've watched the video, and Will Tennyson, he's not pulling back any punches. You thought I was gonna say he's not pulling out on her stomach. And so I appreciate the fact that he included me in this, as I thought I wasn't going to be part of the video. Watched his story, saw it was number 5 on trending, and I immediately went to his channel, went to the timestamps, and couldn't see my name. And so I wrote him and said, hey, Will, I have a free diet and training program. It's close to 50 pages in length. If you had wanted to include that, by all means, I absolutely would love you to do so. I also have one that you can pay for beginner, intermediate, and advanced, showing exactly how I like to train, but I'd prefer that you get the one for free.
Thank you, Greg.
After all, I've given out over 100,000 free diet and training programs. And so I must admit, I was a little disappointed when I saw that he hadn't reviewed my training program. And so I'm watching a video, and literally I could make a Netflix documentary on the amount of content that Will has now given me. And lo and behold, at 15:25, I'm actually in the video. And so bro did me dirty. At 15:25, it says squawk. And so Coach Greg is squawking harder than last time. I know I like to yap in my videos, but to have me labeled as squawk, bro, did I really deserve that? And so I was absolutely honored to see that there were more comments about Coach Greg in the comment section than every other fitness YouTuber combined. I'm honored, guys. I can clearly see y'all Gregging your Doucettes. Greg about to come in with a 30-minute video about why his program is S tier. 3,300 likes, and it's only been 19 hours. And so I wrote, missed opportunity to review El Champion's Spanish strength training protocols. Will, you got to make a part 2. Number 5 on trending, and there were so many influencers programs that you had not the time to go over. And so please, Will, we need to see a part 2. Start Gregging it when it's coming, we coming. Greg is definitely reading these replies. Absolutely. Do you guys know I work 24/7? I'm literally making these videos in my sleep. Your T-plug is working 24/7, guys, and when I'm not selling Turkestrone, well, I'm selling GO2 Max. What did you expect? And so I'm happy Will mentioned my cookbooks in the video, as one of the comments says, I never knew Greg had a cookbook. Does he advertise at all? And so some people took this as not being sarcastic. And so imagine reading that comment and not realizing that there is not a single soul in the world who does not know about my cookbook. Everybody knows about my cookbook. It put me on the map. Really didn't think Will would actually criticize them. He's always so kind, LOL. And so Will writes, gotta be honest and kind. And so Will is just like Coach Greg, except for the kind part. I'm not kind at all. And so, for example, where was the review of Mike Israetel's training programs? Mike Israetel, the RP app, and so on, where was his review? I mean, he certainly could have started by saying Mike Israetel, the uncrowned IFBB Pro champion. Oh my God. Had it not have been for his 10, he would have not only won his pro card, he'd probably be in the Olympia. He could review the effectiveness of going to level 4. Is that in fact required? Will Tennyson, as you know, he likes to go hard. Harder than last time, but he's given my plan the D. It's not the worst rating you could get, but it's not very good. And so we're gonna discover what was wrong with my program. Why did Will Tennyson hate it so much? Good thing he didn't have a freaking Seco bar in the mouth, because who knows, would he also give the Seco bar the D? Mike Israetel said the Seco bar only slightly better than the Liver King. Have y'all tried the Liver King's bar?
The Kaiko bar from HTLT.
Sorry, macros, 6 fat, 33 carb, 20 protein.
Not bad. Great macros. Thank you, Greg.
but yet he was saying, as he put it into his mouth. He loved it. The way he was purring, I thought he would GO2 max all over his stomach. Many people like to criticize how hard is a training program, how hard were the sets. They also like to criticize how hard is the bar.
But an appetizing sound it makes falling down. It definitely has structural integrity.
And so he's glazing the bar now. He says there's structural integrity. What is he eating, a freaking house? What kind of a rating is that? It has structural integrity. Really? That's all he could come up with. Well, let's see. Does this look like a hard bar to you? Many people have said my protein bars, they're not as soft as they'd like. Does it look soft? And so in all transparency, so that I don't get sued, as was the criticism from Mike Isertel, everything else was amazing, the macros, the taste, and so on.
Didn't taste that bad, but has a bar on the cover that's neither shaped nor textured like the bar inside. I don't know why the fuck you would do that.
It's not going to appear like a Cinnabon inside, and so you're actually getting a protein bar. Now, if you want to shape it into a Cinnabon, by all means. And so, warning to you. If you see, for example, a birthday cake on a Quest bar or a s'mores inside of a wrapper of a Anabar, you're not actually going to get the birthday cake or the s'mores, and so don't expect to be blowing out the candle. And so you didn't think you could learn anything from a Coach Greg video, and will probably not on Turk Builder. Why is he a moron? Guys, I don't say what everyone's taking on in secret. Remember, I'm not going to expose. When people take something in private, I don't make a video and say, this guy's taking this guy's taking that. But trust me, there are plenty of YouTubers with millions of followers turking it off with the Turk Builder. But guess what? They can't go and make videos talking about it. Almost every social media influencer who's famous is already sponsored by another competitor. And so they can't make videos saying, oh, I'm taking Turkesterone, I'm taking GO2 Max, and I love it. They can't do that. And so do you really think that people out there are not taking GO2 Max and Turkesterone? Guys, how could you not? There's a money back guarantee. And just to add to this, I've decided to add a $20 gift card. If you've used the product and you don't like it, you're not only going to get your money back, you're getting a $20 gift card. And so what more do you want? Who else is doing this? Oh, it's Snake Oil. Well, it's the first company ever I know that offers a money back guarantee and more on selling snake oil. You guys realize I've been yapping for 18 minutes and I haven't even started Will Tennyson's review? Let's get right into it.
Wouldn't want to do the workout again. So Larry, I'm sorry. Gonna have to go D tier.
And so Larry's getting the D tier, and all of a sudden it's Coach Greg. Magically, I wasn't expecting it. At 1525 timestamp, I was expecting somebody by the name of Squawk. Never heard of them. I said, oh, I can't wait to see this guy new program by the name of Squawk. Turns out it's Coach Greg. And so Will's bought my advanced training program. I have intermediate, as is right here, and I also have one for beginners.
And so he's chosen to go with advanced.
Will is advanced, and so I do believe he can handle it. Remember, these programs are exactly how I train. Not how Will Tennyson trains, not Jeff Nippard, not Mike Isertel, but how I like to train. And so there are tons of training programs out there. Y'all can buy them. Very easy. You could do your Jeff Nippard program, perhaps 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions with RP 8 or 9, and replace whatever exercise is listed by something else. Rather than the squat, I'm going to pick the hack squat. Rather than the hack squat, I'm going to pick the V squat. Rather than the V squat, I'm going to do the leg press. And so how hard would that be? Very easy. And so what I wanted to do was create something different, something unique, something that would stand out, something so that if you get it, you know you're training like Coach Greg. And so if you want to train like Coach Greg, this is the book for you. If you want to train like Jeff Nippard, go and train like Jeff Nippard. Not saying it's bad. My opinion is whatever program that you truly enjoy and that you can push yourself on really hard, those are the programs that are going to get you the gains. And so, for example, when you got a lean beef patty program that everything is an RP of 7 and none of the sets are hard, well, that's great if you're a beginner. And so perhaps that's her audience. And so Will Tennyson is not going to give her a very good rating, gives her a C despite the fact he hates all of the program. He literally, from start to finish, didn't like it, but she gets a C. Coach Greg, he gets the D. Guys, I got to say, my feelings are hurt, but that's okay. Will Tennyson, he doesn't enjoy going from one machine to the next. I like alternating from one exercise to another. It saves time, it increases intensity, and it's how I like to train. If you want to sit on one machine and sit there and spend 2 hours in the gym every day, well, by all means. Now remember, there are multiple options. No book has the amount of detail that mine does. No other YouTuber puts the kind of work and effort that I put into my programs. Whether it's one-on-one coaching, long-term, or one-time plans, I have the most amount of information detail of anyone, and I've seen the programs. And so even my free training programs, that's right, it's free. It costs $0, not 112, $0. It's close to 50 pages. And I can guarantee if Will Tennyson looked at that program and he compared it to the rest, he'd say, there's more work put into this free plan than every other. There's more information, there's more challenges, there's more benefit to all of you. And so if you're interested in the free training program, get to the website. What are you waiting for?
This is a 95-page PDF, which is a lot.
And so it's a 95-page PDF. Of course, you can get the hard copy, as many people enjoy reading it in front of their face. And I know with the cookbooks, approximately 80% of the purchases are for the hard copy. And so even though it's 2024, the majority of people, they still want to feel things with their hands.
And then there's a whole part on mindset, which I think is awesome. So clearly this was made with a ton of passion, and clearly by the writing. Greg definitely did this one, that's for sure.
And so I'm not sure if that's a compliment or an insult. Clearly by the writing, Greg clearly wrote this one. I don't know if that's good, if that's bad, because we all know Coach Greg is not very good at spelling. Not the best speller, and so hopefully there's not more spelling mistakes than last time. And so far, I'm feeling it's S tier. It's a 95-page plan. It's going over everything, including the mindset, and there's multiple choices of what you can do.
They offer 4 training plans. There's 2 60-minute ones and 2 90-minute ones. I think I'm gonna try one of the 60-minute ones.
And so notice, 2 60-minute programs, 2 90-minute programs. There are so many choices, you can pick the one that you want. Now, if he had chosen the 90-minute program, there would have been more rest between sets. It would have been easier, but it would have taken him longer. And so he wanted to get in and out of the gym quickly, but also at the same time having an advanced training program. And so here's the thing, Will. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Well, unless you're Mike Isertel, as clearly he was having lots of cake while prepping for his competition because he never showed up in shape. 6.2% body fat without the proper tan, you're not going to win your pro card.
And I'm gonna rip one of the leg and bicep days, so let's get it.
And by rip, he means tear it apart.
Thank you, Greg.
As in to say it's horrible. Horrendous. Unlike my protein bar, which I'm eating right now.
Exercise number 1, we got options. So option A is paused barbell squat. And option B is just a machine of your choice.
And so notice within the program, there's options. Perhaps the gym is busy. You can't get access to the squat rack. You can do another exercise. There's nothing wrong with that. I do this all the time. Remember, this is how I train. I go to the gym, and if somebody is on my machine, I don't sit there for 20 minutes and make a Jolie Swole video.
You need to do better.
I choose another machine.
I'm gonna be using this squat machine because I was looking at option A, and that kind of volume for paused barbell squats.
But here's the thing, the volume is there, but the intensity is not. 15 reps is a warm-up set. It clearly states how hard to go, and so it's easy. It's not a lot of volume. It does not count as a working set. As the weight goes up, the reps go down, and you begin to train a little bit harder. None of the sets are till failure until the final set, which is freaking hard, harder than last time. No way could you do all of these sets to failure. And so let me ask you this. If you did 1 plate on each side for 15 reps, and then 2 plates on each side for 12, 3 plates on each side for 10 to 12 reps, and the final set with 365 pounds for 9 to 12 reps, would you feel tired doing 135 for 15 if you can get 365 for 9 to 12 reps? Now remember, this is how I train. I have very good muscular endurance. I don't go to the gym and do 5 sets of 5. Regardless if you're a powerlifter and you think that's how you should be training, I've set world records and coached world record-setting athletes to train exactly like I do. And so it clearly works. Not saying that Mike Isertel or Jeff Nippard's programs don't work. They clearly work. They all work. but you have to enjoy it. And if Will Tennyson didn't enjoy this style of training, then I don't recommend it for him. But just because he didn't like to train this way, perhaps you would. And so if Will were to swap out the 60-minute exercise program into the 90-minute program, he wouldn't have to go so quickly. He could rest longer, take his time, and perhaps it would be more enjoyable.
With pretty much everything in this program, you're slowly working your way up in weight while dropping the reps to prepare for one all-out set.
Notice how it says pendulum squat, easy, 15 to 20 reps. Many people, I feel they train way too heavy. They're ego lifting in the gym. It's an easy set. You put a light weight on the bar. Is that going to be a lot of volume? When I go and do 60 minutes of cardio before doing my entire body in a training program, do you really think that I'm worried about doing 15 or 20 reps? I can handle the volume. And so if you feel like the first set, 15 reps is just way too many reps to warm up, time to work on the cardio. And so notice on the second set, pendulum squat, moderate intensity. You all know what that is. It's a medium amount. I felt like this is the easiest way to help people understand. The first set's going to be easy. Anyone can do it. The second set is still not hard. You're not training into the depths of hell like Mike Israetel. It's moderate, medium. And the third set is hard. Harder than frigging last time. The last set was medium. And the fourth set, it's all out. Balls deep. This is an advanced training program. Not a beginner, not an intermediate, but it's advanced, and you gotta get it done in 60 minutes. You're in a rush today. And so it's 10 to 15 reps plus 5 to 10 partials. Partial reps. As hard as you can go, perhaps you're at 11, and you're tapping out. That's for a full range of motion. If you're going with a full range of motion all the way up, all the way down, would it not be still easy to get 5 more reps of partials? 1, 2, 3, 4. And so, have you not seen El Champion? Guy's an expert. He's a champion, godlike. Training with Larry Wheels, 2 of the strongest men in the world. Did you not see that all of his sets were partials? All of them. And look at the strength of this man. 6-pack poking through his blue shirt. Guy rides his bike to and from the gym uphill with a headwind both ways. With a backpack bringing the weights to the gym. Bro is an animal. And he does partial reps. Larry Wheels, on the other hand, he's a proponent of full range of motion. He was trying to tell El Champion, you should do a greater range of motion. You combine both. Guys, S tier. And so the comments saying Coach Greg gonna make a 30-minute video explaining how his training program is S tier. You bang on, and of course it is. And so guys, many of you new to the channel, you may not realize this. Read this next comment. Greg's his dad. Sometimes it's hard for our sons to speak their minds, to tell us what they truly think, but this is something that I adore. I'm a fan of this. I encourage this. You have to tell people the truth. Tell them how you really feel.
By the end of the last set, I was so gassed I couldn't even grind one of the partial reps, which kind of scared me for the rest of the workout.
And so Will's saying I was so gassed I couldn't do a partial rep. That's an oxymoron. I did not witness level 4. He wasn't speaking in Russian. There was no rah! There was none of that. You've all seen Coach Greg at level 4. Editors, show Coach Greg at level 4.
Okay.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Now, editors, show Mike Israetel at level 4. And let's now watch Will Tennyson. Bro, that's level 2. Hate to break it to you, Will, but you're training at level 2. And so perhaps you were fatigued from doing all of these other guys' programs. You didn't have the intensity, you just weren't there for it. And you know why that may be, and the people, they predicted it. Perhaps on that day, he forgot to take his GO2 max and or terkesterone. I mean, bro, how can you expect to get the gains? You're into your late 20s now. The newbie gains, they're far behind, but I'm your T-Blug, I got you covered. Remember, if you want to train advanced like Coach Greg, I got what you need. But if you can't handle it, which he clearly couldn't, he shows and demonstrates he couldn't handle it. He went all out, and then he couldn't perform the partial reps. Go down a tier. It's called intermediate. And so, Will, it's not my fault you're at an intermediate level of intensity. I'm just calling it like it is. Now, perhaps that's for the best. Not all men are meant to go to level 3 and level 4. For Mike Israetel, look how it turned out. It caused him to forget about getting a tan. Had he not gone to level 4, he probably would have had more brain cells. It perhaps is possibly from the abuse of performance-enhancing drugs. He did, in fact, say it causes a significant reduction in fluid intelligence. And so that may in fact be it. And Will, you're still young. I apologize profusely for going out to get that bag of milk. I'll never do it again.
I just really don't like, for the second set, is gassing me out before my top set.
And so this is the educational portion of the video, aside from the fact that the protein bars, they don't have the actual photo on the cover. If you're gassed out from doing the 15 to 20 reps easy, clearly labeled easy, then it wasn't easy. Or it is possible that you're so out of shape that you just couldn't do it. Now, Will Tennyson is in better shape than Coach Greg. I've seen him run. Bro did 100,000 steps in a day. He's an animal. I've raced him running on a treadmill. He beat Coach Greg. I'm impressed. He's very athletic. He also has top-tier genetics. His parents, his family are amazing. They are very good athletes. And so hearing him say that he was gassed out from doing the prior sets, I have to believe that Will Tennyson simply tried too hard on his earlier sets. And so if you gas yourself out on an easy set, a warm-up set, of course it's going to tire you out. And so it's very important to read the instructions. Perhaps I didn't font size the easy large enough. Perhaps I could have used another color, perhaps a circle, perhaps a square around the easy. And that's on me. I know as a school teacher of 11 years that if I present something to someone and they can't follow it, it's on me. I have to be more clear in making sure that they know exactly what to do. And remember, Will Tennyson, he does like to train hard. And so I do believe he can handle the advanced training program, especially with the help of Turkesterone and GO2 Max. And so he simply mistook the instructions and thought, hey, it's advanced, we're going all out on set 1. That's my bad, but now that you know this, you're watching this, if you do get my program, you'll know exactly what to do. And so thank you, Will Smith.
At this point, my quads are basically jelly-like, but alas, the leg press awaits and we must bravely press onward even if my legs have other ideas.
But notice it says easy. And so if you go hard immediately when you're supposed to go easy, it's going to be too hard. And so I'm sorry, but Will did an advanced plus training program and he wasn't ready for it. Remember, he's not on steroids like Mike Israetel, and so he can't handle this kind of training.
I don't know how sustainable this workout really is. Like, look at me here. I'm practically looking up to the anabolic angels, ready for them to take me.
The funny thing is that's not even level 2. Does anyone think after that final repetition that he couldn't have got one more? For $1,000 a rep, if it looked like that, could he have done another rep? And so, bro, you should train with Coach Greg on a hard day. When I'm really feeling it. Remember, I'm an old man, I'm 49. To earn my IFBB Pro card as a manlet, imagine the work I had to put through. 42 shows natural, was 35 when I turned professional. Did 59 shows in total, as well as 70 powerlifting competitions. I can train hard.
Now I'm doing CrossFit because I'm gonna be bouncing around the gym now for 3 rounds, 15 to 20 reps, 15 to 45 second rest between each thing. This is wildly impractical.
And so I had a lot of criticisms for this. Many people did not enjoy this. This is where you do a circuit. I train like this to this day, and so I rarely have any problems with this. I go from one machine to the next, and if that machine's busy, I do the next one. There's always options. Remember, he chose a 60-minute workout. It's an advanced training program. Most guys who are at the advanced level are training more than 60 minutes. But he has to get his workout done in a pinch. He's in a bind. He has no time. And so I made it happen. But you have to go from one machine to the next, and so on. And so he starts with the abductor machine. It's not all that hard. Even when you go hard, it doesn't feel that hard. It's like spamming the side laterals. You can go all day. Follow that up with hip thrusts or the adductor machine. And after that, leg extensions, leg curls, seated incline, dumbbell curl, and calf raises. And so I get it. It's hard. You go from one machine to the next. But here's the thing. If one machine is busy, you go to the next one. If that machine is busy, you go to the next. It isn't that complicated. You do the machines that's open. I do it all the time. I'll go on the adductor machine. I'll then do the abductor machine. I'll go and do some calf raises, do some bicep curls. I go from one machine to the next, and so on. And if somebody happens to be doing the leg extension while I want it, I go to the next exercise. They're on the leg extension. I'm going to do calf raises. Or I walk up to them and the set's over and say, can I do a quick set? And they're more than happy to let me. Most people are happy to train with Coach Greg. Hey, you want me to do a set while you're resting? Absolutely. Never do I have any problems, except for one time at that fitness gym. There was about 1 billion people and 30 machines. It was impossible. And so I get it. You can't always do it. But if you can't do it, you could pick the 90-minute workout. And there are multiple options depending on what you want. And so the reasoning for giving it a D tier, I don't think it's fair. Jesse James got a B tier. There were 39 sets for his back. Science says you should be doing 10 to 20 sets per week for a given body part. His had 39 sets. He got a B. Now, perhaps it's because I left getting a bag of milk. I don't know. And if the program is effective and it works and you chose the 60-minute workout, that's your choice, then you have to make it work. And if you don't enjoy it because you're not fit, you're not in shape, you're not taking Geotomax or Terkesterone, well, that's on you. You should have chosen the 90-minute workout. Remember, there were 2 options. This option has a lot less rest because there is less time. I thought about that. I programmed that. I don't always have an hour and a half, but I make it work. But remember, I race bikes and formerly did 13 years of triathlons. And so many people, they underestimate my fitness. I'm great at cardio. I'm well-rounded. I'm certainly fit. But if you're not fit, if you're used to training like a powerlifter, this ain't it. Do not pick the 60-minute work.
If you train after work when it's busy, I'm just thankful the gym's empty, but there's no way most people can do this.
And so I've been at Will's gym. There's never a time when that gym is busy. There's about 100 plus machines. There will never be a time where Will goes into that gym and it's too busy to do this program. And so for Will, it's perfect. This is ideal. It's almost like having your own personal gym like I have in my basement. And so the criticism of, well, I don't think I could get to each machine, you always can. Always. And if you couldn't, you pick option B. And so does it not sound like I've thought of everything? Remember, I was a school teacher. I understand if you can't do the program, then it's on me. I thought of that. I have multiple programs.
For round number 3, quite honestly, I'm hating this so far.
And so this is what's important to know. He says he's hating this right now. And what did I say is the most important thing? You have to love your training program. If you don't like training like this, it's not for you. This is how I like to train. There are tons of other training programs where you sit on one machine, you lock in, and you do that from start to finish. And so clearly, Will is biased towards those kind of programs. That is what he likes to do. It would be like hating chocolate or peanut butter and doing a review of protein bars, and some have chocolate and peanut butter. Those are all getting a very poor rating, despite the fact they might be excellent protein bars. And so Will, it makes sense he's giving it a D because it sucks. Why would he want to do this? If somebody's selling me a running program and I make a video about it and I start running, of which I don't like doing, I'm going to give it a low rating. I hated it. I didn't enjoy it. Somebody else sells me a biking program. I love biking. I do it. I love it. It's getting S tier. Does that not make sense? And so remember, when reviewing an exercise program, if it's for other people, you have to consider what might other people enjoy. Does it actually work? Is it scientific? Does it make sense? Will it cause muscle hypertrophy? For the person that likes it. And so for Will, it's D tier. If you like training like this, if you want to train like me, it's S tier plus. And so somebody wrote in the comment section, 10 signs of a decent program. And so if you were to go through all those signs, I think you could clearly see that I nailed all of them. And so my program clearly is effective. It's S tier. However, Will Tennyson didn't enjoy it because he had to go from one machine to the next in order to get it down to a 60-minute program instead of 90 minutes. And so he relegated to D tier. And so if you want a program where you just do straight sets, you don't switch over and do anything, well, this program's not for you. And when people hired me to do personal training programs and so on, if they told me, hey, I refuse to do this, I won't go from one machine to the next, then I'll make a different program. And I would say approximately 1 out of 10 people who I've coached could not train in this fashion. The gyms are just too damn busy, but for the most part, almost everyone can do it. And so after doing that set of shoulders on that machine, I can then go and do biceps. If I'm trying to do preacher bicep curls and that machine's used, I can do the dumbbells. I can do the barbells. It's all accounted for. And when I go back and it's time to repeat the shoulder press, if that machine's taken, I can do another. If you go to the gym and your programming is so rigid, and next on the list, leg press, and there's a couple bikini competitors and they're recording videos and they're gonna be on there for 20 minutes, what are you gonna do? Sit there and pull up a tent and rest for 20 minutes and wait till they're finished? The programming, it works. If you're interested, code Greg 15% off. But remember, there's the free training and program, and so why not start there?
But the last one is bicep curls superset with calves, which is low-key clever, man.
Exactly. Calf raises paired with bicep curls. While your biceps are resting, you're training your calves. And while the calves are training, you're resting your biceps. It allows you to get through your program that much quicker while really keeping up the intensity. You don't need your calves to do biceps, and you don't need your biceps to do calves. That's why it works. That's the beauty in its design.
And Greg, I'm telling you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Greg, I'm sorry. D tier. D for Doucette.
And it wasn't D tier after all. It was D for Doucette. You guys thought he gave me the D. Well, yeah, he actually did. And perhaps he could have gave it a G tier for Coach Greg. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you like. Don't forget to watch one of those two bloops, of course, the cookbooks, the training books, coaching plans by me and my team, the hard and last time, clothing line, tank tops, hoodies, jogging pads, everything. The free diet and training program. Get to the website. Also join the 400,000 plus newsletter subscribers. And until next time, I am out.